Hey guys, welcome back to Incognito. In the last video, we learned about different inbuilt operations on arrays. In this video, we are going to dive into more concepts on arrays and their inbuilt functions. Let's get started. More array methods. Previously, we learned about the .pop and the .push array methods and saw how they mutate an array. There are some other array methods which don't mutate an array but may still help us while writing code. This challenge will make us use a few of such methods. So now let's come to the instructions to understand more of such methods. But first let's review the code. We have an array grocery list which consists of some items which we might find in a typical grocery list. Now we can come to the instructions. Use the .shift method to remove the first item from the array grocery list. Log the new grocery list to the console. Read about .shift at mdn shift documentation. So let's go over here. So this sentence says the shift method removes the first element from an array and returns that removed element. This method changes the length of the array. Okay, so what I have to do here is in this instruction I'm just calling the shift method to remove the first element in grocery list, that is orange juice, and return the final array. So I'm going to say grocery list dot shift. I'm calling the function and console.log grocery list. Let's click run and see what happens. So this is the new array grocery list which consists of bananas, coffee beans, ground rice, pasta, coconut oil and plantains. We can clearly see that orange juice, which is the first element in the original grocery list, is missing from the new one. That means grocery list.shift worked properly. Now we can go to the next instruction. Under the code added in step 1, use the unshift method to add popcorn to the beginning of your grocery list. After calling unshift on grocery list, log grocery list to the console. We may wish to delete the console.log statement from the previous step, and we can read about .unshift at mdn's unshift documentation. Let's read that first. So the unshift method adds one or more elements to the beginning of an array and returns the new length of the array. So what I have to do here is I have to add the word popcorn to unshift to grocery list using the unshift method. I'll comment out the old grocery list first, and I'll leave that as it is. Grocery list dot unshift and add popcorn to the beginning and console.log grocery list. Let's click run. You can see popcorn has come to the beginning of the list along with the other contents of the list after shift has been called. So here we can see that the shift is the exact opposite of a .pop. Instead of removing .pop removes the last element of the array, and .shift removes the first element of the array, and unshift adds an element to the beginning of the array. The next instruction says, you're in a hurry, so you decide to ask a friend to help you with your grocery shopping. You want him to pick up the bananas, coffee beans, and brown rice. Under the code you added for step 2, use .slice to provide your friend with a list of these three things. Log this part of the list to the console. Unlike the two previous checkpoints, you should do both of these steps in one line. Read about .slice at mdn's slice documentation. Let's go over here and see what they have to say. The slice method returns a shallow copy of a portion of an array into a new array object selected from start to end not included, where start and end represent the index of items in that array. The original array would not be modified. Let's look at this example to understand more about this. We have an array animals which consists of these 5 animals, and now we are calling the slice function on animals and passing an index value of 2. So when we pass in only one index value to the slice method, it will simply return the new array which starts from the index passed to the slice array, and then it will slice from that index until the very end of the array and return that array itself. So that means we can see that the start index is 2. Let's come to animals and see the index values 0, 1 and 2. That means the slice method will start slicing the animals array from camel and go till the end because we have only one parameter passed to the slice function. So the output of this statement will be camel, duck, and elephant. As we can clearly see over here, camel, duck, and elephant from the index 2 till the end of the array. Let's come to the next one. We are passing in two parameters this time to the slice method, and we're calling the slice method by passing it to the animals array. So now we have two index values, the start, which is 2, and the end, which is 4. We can clearly see here that the end index is not included. That means this statement will just slice the array from indexes 2 to 4 without including the element in the fourth index and return that array. That means camel has an index of 2 and duck has an index of 3 and elephant has an index of 4, but it won't return that because it is the last index passed over here. That means this statement will simply return camel and duck. Similarly, in the last statement as well, we are passing in two parameters 1 and 5, where 1 is the start index and 5 is the end index. That means 1 begins from bison and 5 does not exist in the array. That means it will simply go to the end of the array. So what this will return is bison, camel, duck, and elephant, as we can see in this comment. Let's come back to Codecademy and run this challenge. Let's see what we have to do again over here. We want our friend to pick up bananas, coffee beans, and brown rice on his own. That means bananas, coffee beans, and brown rice. We have to slice the array. We have to cut out this part of the array and store it in a new array. So I'm just going to comment this out over here, the previous console.log statement, and I'm going to console.log grocery list.slice. The starting index of bananas is 1, so I'm going to pass in 1 over here, and I don't want the slice to cut off till the end of the array. I want to stop at brown rice. So the index of brown rice is 0, 1, 2, and 3. But I want brown rice to be included as well, so I'm going to go beyond 3 and pass in 4 over here. Now when I run this code, it should return bananas, coffee beans, and brown rice. Let's run and see what happens. Indeed, bananas, coffee beans, and brown rice has come to the console, and we can go to the next instruction. The next instruction says, after calling .slice on grocery list, log the grocery list to the console one more time. Notice that the grocery list array still contains the same items it had in step 2. That means slice is not mutating. You can confirm this in the link in the previous step. So let's just see if that's true. We're going to console.log the grocery list, which refers to this grocery list over here after unshift. Let's see what happens. Something is wrong. Oh, I put parentheses in the end, which is wrong. It's an array and not a function. Let's run again and see what happens. Yeah, so now did you call the indexOf method? I did something wrong. Okay, I went to the next instruction. Let's see what happens first over here. When we're logging grocery list, we can see that the original array after unshift remains the same despite calling .slice on it. So the slice array has been returned, and the original array after unshift has been returned, which consists of popcorn, bananas, coffee beans, brown rice, pasta, coconut oil, and plantains. Now we can go to the next instruction. Let's find the index of a particular element in grocery list using .indexOf. Call .indexOf on grocery list to find the index of the element pasta and save the return value to a const variable named pasta index. Then log pasta index to the console. We may remove the other console.log statements to declutter the terminal. Read about .indexOf at MDN's indexOf documentation. So by reading this instruction, we pretty much know what .indexOf does, but let's go to the documentation anyway. The .indexOf method returns the first index at which a given element can be found in the array, or -1 if it is not present. So again, we have a beasts array this time, which is another array of beasts, I like to say. And then now in this statement, we are calling the .indexOf on the beasts array and passing a value of bison, the string bison. Notice. So now the index of bison is 1. That means this will return 1. Similarly, now let's come to the next instruction over here. Now it's not instruction statement. we're calling the dot indexOf function on the beast array and passing the same same string to find the indexOf to the indexOf function, but we want to start the search from the second index value. So now we can see that it won't start from the beginning of the array because we're passing 2 to the indexOf function as well. So now the indexOf function should start searching from 0, 1 and 2. It should start searching from camel, and this will return the first index of bison from the camel till the end of the array. That means the next bison string has an index of 4, and therefore this statement will return 4. Now similarly we come to the next statement. We want to find the index of giraffe in the beast array, but we can see over here that it does not exist. That means now we know that the index of will return -1 if the element is not present in the array, and that's what this statement does. It will simply return -1. Let's come back to Codecademy. What we have to do is, let's find the index of a particular element in grocery list. We have to find the element of pasta, index of pasta, and store it in a variable called pasta index. Pasta index is equal to grocery list dot index of, and pass in pasta, the string pasta, and click run. And I have to console.log because I want to see console.log pasta index. Now let me just type that correctly. Now it's correct. Now let's see what happens when I click run. We get 4 to the console because pasta has an index of 4, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, as you can see over here. So with that, this challenge also is completed. So guys, that was it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Also, we have a new Python series in the channel. If you want to learn Python, check out the playlist. I will drop a link to it in the video description. Thank you for watching.